pretty. Come along. Hey garden gals and guys, it's Steph with Tiny's Garden, and today I'm going to give you a seedling tour of all the seedlings that I have started for this growing season. Now, if you're new here, I am a avid hobby grower here in Zone 5B in the Chicago suburbs, and my last frost date is May 2nd. Today is March 20th, so we are now 6 weeks away from the last frost date, and if our weather would cooperate here, it has gone from lows of 12 degrees, absolutely frigid, to a 50-degree day today, and it's been very difficult to keep the greenhouse temperature in between ranges that I would like. Also, it makes it difficult to move things out into the garden. So if our weather would just cooperate, I could start moving some things outside. But right now, we're gonna focus on what is growing inside and how I'm planning on moving things as I can. Axel, I can't play right now. I can't play, I'm filming. I'll play with you in a while, okay? Okay, bye. So let's jump right in and start with my upstairs grow light where I have my Lizzie Anthis, some Snapdragons, and is there anything else up here? Nope, just those two things, and they're taking up both top shelves. So let's take a look. Also, little side note, I do have my fan running on some of my Lizzie Anthis because they're a little wet. And we know Lizzie Anthis don't like to be wet. So if you hear that little side sound, that's what it is, but I'm not gonna turn it off because those are my babies and it makes me too nervous to turn it off. Let's check out the top shelf first. Here is an initial tray of the Lizzie Anthis I started in soil blocks. And you can tell I've only got one tray left because I have transplanted most of them up into bigger cells. I just did this one this weekend, a couple days ago. And now when I go to this lower level, you'll see the difference. I mean, look at that. And this is the one that the fan's actually blowing on because it's quite wet right now. But they're huge. You can see the difference. Okay, I turned the fan off for a second. They'll be okay. And over here, I did this one a couple weeks after the one I just showed you. And even these are looking better than these and these that I just transplanted up. So these should take off soon. And I didn't want to. I really wanted to just keep them here. But you can't argue that they're doing so much better when they're transplanted up. So, you know I do it for my Lizzie Anthis babies. I'm probably gonna end up transplanting the rest of these that are still good up into another tray like this. I'm also starting to have some fungus gnat issues, specifically with the soil block ones. I don't know if you can see, but if I wave my hand over here, there's a few that start to fly out and we don't want that. So that's another reason that I am potting them up to try and keep that at bay. I also do have sticky things. That's what these are right here. Sticky traps for fungus gnats that do an okay job, but on my soil block trays, I don't have anywhere to really set them unless I set them horizontal, but then they could get on the Lizzie Anthis. So it's a whole thing. But point being, I'm working on controlling the fungus gnats as well. Let's talk about my Snapdragons. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at all this green. I haven't played with them that much yet, but they're pretty, right? Make sure I don't drop them. So far, they're looking really healthy. There's just a little slight discoloration in this corner here, if you can see that, but it's really not bad. All things considered, that you're seeing a lot of nice healthy green up in here. So I've got several different varieties on here, but these were all sown on February 11th. Like I said, today's March 20th, so this is their progress so far, and I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased. So that's Snapdragon plate number 1. One of my Snapdragons got caught on the sticky trap. This guy here, you see that little green? That's from him. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the thing with the sticky traps. You gotta be careful. Be careful, folks. Here we have round 2 of Snapdragons. You can see they're a little farther behind. That's because they were sown on February 27th. So that is the difference. I have good germination along this top row here. The bottom row is less so, especially my Floret Sherbet Toned Chantilly mix, which is this middle square right here. I think I had 4 officially germinate and have a little growth on them out of 20, which is disappointing. So that stinks. But otherwise, looking pretty good there, and we'll allow them to continue to grow on. These varieties are all different than the first tray that I showed you, so I should have a good amount of variety to select from, and just really crossing my fingers all of these come to fruition. So I do need to go in and pinch them after they get some good growth on them farther along than they are now. I will go in and pinch them. I'll show you a pinching Snapdragon videos. I'll link it in the description below that I did last year or the year before, so you know what I'm talking about. But that will happen before they go out into the garden beds. Okay, now let's take a look at downstairs. Now we're downstairs. This is my grow light setup downstairs, and it's in my basement, and this is real life, and it's kind of a little bit of a mess. But you know what? We roll with it. And I've got some things started on here I want to show you. You can see I've also got a fan going and oscillating. Right now the temperature in here is 71.4, and the fan was actually turned off last night, so I just turned it back on. But now I'll turn it back off again so you can hear me. Let's start with my sweet peas. Here is one of my trays of sweet peas, and these are actually in root trainers. They're doing well, actually maybe a little too well. They're starting to wind around each other, and I need to get these out in the greenhouse because they do prefer cooler temperatures than the 70-degree that is down here. I can also come in and pinch these as well now, but really good germination on these, except this here. If you can see that, that's dying. I'm not really sure why. And this one doesn't look great next to it either, but this one I need to take out because it's on death's doorstep. And if you look at the sticky tray here, you can see that I'm fighting fungus gnats down here too. So I'm just trying to keep that at bay, but really these look good, and I'm planning on moving them out to the greenhouse probably like today or tomorrow. I just need to bite the bullet and start to harden them off, take them out for a few hours at a time each day through this week, and then just move them. Just move them and do it. This dog. You guys know I love Axel to death, but today he is giving Mama a run for her money. What are you doing? Oh, now you're stuck. Oh, now you're stuck. Let me help you. Hold on, let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. What's happening here? Axe, you got into the mouse trap. Axie. Axe, come on, baby. Oh my gosh, Axel. And now the Christmas rug is ruined. Ugh, Baki Axe, no. He's fine. I'll clean his paw right after this. Did I mention this is real life? This is the show here. This is the show here at Tiny's Garden. Here's the next tray of sweet peas. Also looking good. These are a little behind the ones I just showed you, but looking healthy. No problem so far. Again, you can see all the fungus gnats on that sticky note there. So keeping them in check, but doing okay. These need to move out ASAP too. And then the last tray. Half or most of these are sweet peas, and then on the other side I actually have some bells of Ireland I started. But this tray of sweet peas took the longest to start. Molly Rillstone from Floret, it took a long time to germinate, like a long time. But all of them are up now. This is the whole front half. Also, I've got Jeff Hughes here in the middle, really beautiful, and all of those except one has germinated. So top of that tray, looking good. Same thing with these guys. I need to get them out to the greenhouse along with the bells of Ireland. This one here is a little leggy and lopsided, but the other ones look okay. These I didn't germinate in a paper towel. I just put them in the cell trays to see how they do because I needed to take up some space. and they did okay. I had one cell up here that didn't germinate at all, but otherwise okay. So sweet peas looking good. Need to move them out ASAP. Remember when I sowed delphinium from last year or 2 years ago? This is what I have from it. I've got one, even that one's not looking too well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually a little more than I thought. 7 of these on this tray. So a lot of them didn't germinate, which is okay because it's older seed. But I've got some, so that's better than my winter sowing in the past. So I am going to move these out to the greenhouse soon as well. And I've got Campanula on this side, which will be able to handle temperatures in the greenhouse. Those look really quite healthy. And on this side, I've got pansies, and these are the best looking pansies that I have. They look good too. So now let me show you the pansy tray that was one of the first things I sowed this year. And it does not look as good as these two, fair warning. Okay, here we are, and you can see there's just more discoloration. Pretty good germination really. The seed was from last year. But just not quite as healthy looking leaves as that tray I just showed you. And that could be that they need more space. I'm not sure, because some of them still look really healthy. If we look in there, there's some nice big ones with not much discoloration. They like cooler temperatures than they're getting in here. So this tray also needs to move out to the greenhouse. The problem I'm having is that with our temperatures dropping down to something like 12 degrees, the greenhouse has gone down to like 27 degrees, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to handle that. So that's my holdup with moving some of these things out to the greenhouse that should be out there, is our weather's just not consistent yet. Chicago weather. So I'm erring on the side of being a little more careful, but I do want to use these in some spring containers. So hoping to put them to work soon. So this is interesting. These two I sowed as well. They are from February 11th. I have, let me set this down. I have Dalmatian Peach Foxglove right down here, really stellar germination, and the plants are looking really healthy. No discoloration, that's that bottom block here. Really happy with that. They're very slow growers, but they're healthy, so I'm fine with it. Then up here you can see not as good of germination there. That was Bells of Ireland. I tried in soil blocks, contrary to the cell trays, in the small soil blocks, and I have four that have germinated out of 20. Not great. I will say the paper towel germination that I just tried this weekend, the video I just posted recently, it worked. So I do have some of those in soil blocks with the larkspur out in the greenhouse, but I've got a few in here too. Anyways, I really am happy with the foxglove. That's doing great. This is the Champion Lavender Campanula, and you can tell the difference. I've got four that germinated in this soil block versus the tray I just showed you where there was quite a lot of Campanula that germinated. So I don't know what was done different. Let me see when I sowed those. The same day, actually. Those others that had a lot of germination in the soil blocks were on February 2nd too. So I guess this one just didn't take as well. But I'll take 4 of them. Now my prized possession down here. Look at all this green, all this growth. Do you know what it is? Oh my goodness. Iceland poppies, one of my faves. Great germination on this half of the tray, whereas this half of the tray, I have 1. That one right there. And the rest didn't come up. That was older seed. And this side was newer seed from Floret. This one was Champagne Bubbles from Johnny's. I think it's safe to say maybe use all of your poppy seed the first year because it doesn't really hold. But I got 1! These varieties over here are the Sherbert Mix and then Pastel Meadows, and I'm happy with that so far. They really like to grow on between 45 and 55 degrees. It's too hot down here for them, but again, the temperature's dropping down to 27 in the greenhouse makes me a little nervous, especially since they're not hardened off yet. But I think our temperatures look a bit better this week because these guys love the cold. They really do. And I think the discoloration that is on them right now is because they're not in the cold. So I need to harden them off and get them out to the greenhouse where they'll be happier. But we've got good germination. Yay! Two more things. It's going to be tricky to see this, but these are Snapdragons, leftover Snapdragons that I planted for my mom. I just broadcast spread them in here on the 27th. I think I've got 9 that came through. I just used my extra ones from the soil box upstairs. So that's good. This got too dry one day and I lost like 2 or 3 of them. But your babies are coming, Mama. They're coming. And lastly, a tray here of lupin. I love these seedlings. Look how cute they are. And they're so pretty when they're in bloom. A perennial. Happy that I've got some germination on that. Not a ton, but enough. Enough. Then we have calendula here, zeolites. This is bupleurum, which I did not sow correctly. I did not start to germinate these in a plastic bag, Ziploc bag, or anything like that. I just threw them in here to see if they would grow, and they have not yet. I think they also take a while to germinate, so the ruling's still out on that, but this one might not come to fruition at all, which is okay. Then here we have feverfew, which is my first year growing it. Good germination. I do think this is not feverfew right here. That's a different seed. But Vegmo Snowball is the variety, and it's looking pretty good. Then lastly, here we have Chimney Rudbeckia. Not quite as good of germination as this over here, which is the Sahara mix, which is my favorite. I have not grown this before. I have grown this, and it was so beautiful last year. Looking forward to this though. But this tray so far is doing pretty well. I do still have it on the heat mat, but I'm probably going to take that off in another week or so. So we're looking good. One last thing I'll show you is my ranunculus and anemones that I put in the fridge. It's been several weeks ago now, probably 3, and the fridge is staying around 42, 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me show you the progress there. Ta-da! Nothing! I've checked on these guys a few times now, and actually the soil feels really dry. It's a little more moist underneath, but they're not doing anything. Not doing anything. So maybe the fridge was not a good idea. I mean, this is a look at a butterfly ranunculus, and it's not moldy. I will say they're not moldy, but they're also not doing anything. Hold the phone! Hold the phone! Check this out. There's signs of life. That's a root. That's a root. There's a little green popping up through there in the front. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I'm encouraged. This is the first time I'm seeing anything like this. Oh, good. I just checked 3 more and they're all doing the same thing. Signs of life. It's the it's the littlest bit of signs of life, but it's there. So that's encouraging. I need to move these out to the greenhouse as well. Thank goodness, that was gonna be a huge bummer. Here's the second tray. Let's check some of these. Oh, good! These anemones here have some roots growing on them. A little bit, they're not long, but they're there. So I'll take that. And this one has even longer ones. So that's a plus. And these ranunculus have even more roots than the ones I just showed you. So something happened in the past week or 2. And they really turned on the gear. Again, it's not a lot, but it's enough. It's enough. They're gonna live. I'm really encouraged by that. That was good to see. I am gonna move those out to the greenhouse because they will like those cooler temperatures at night, and when the temperature gets up, I can get it around 70, which they'll still be okay at. Even lower than that, 60s will be great, and they'll really start to put on some extra growth. I don't think I'm gonna pot all of those up. I'm gonna let them grow in their trays because I'm really looking to move my ranunculus out ASAP after all the really harsh freezing temperatures like the 12-degree night after that's done with. I also have to put up a little hoop house for them that I'm going to do just over the raised beds. I got all the stuff for that over the weekend, so stay tuned for that video. Oh my gosh, lots of stuff happening. Lots of stuff happening. That really got my heart rate up seeing that. Those signs of life, they're there. So yeah, I've got a lot to do. I hope you're having a great time with your seedlings, great success. If you have some failures, it's okay, because believe me, I do too, and we're all human here, but we still love to garden. So please comment below and let me know how your seedlings are doing, if you're having great success with something, or if you're having not so great success with something, let me know. Also, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel to follow along with all things garden, and we will see you in the next one, everybody. Happy planting. Bye.